Top of the morning, welcome to the World's 2021 Grand Finals here between Damwon Kia and EDG. After a very hard-fought way through the playoffs, DK and T1 going to 5 games, EDG and Gen G going to 5 games, we find ourselves with the two #1 teams from the LCK and the LPL respectively, and it's going to be a very big question as to what is going to be what is going to be the power picks to define the series. Lissandra going to come in here for Showmaker, or at least the Lissandra banned for the LeBlanc pick for Showmaker coming in. The Lucian and the Aphelios being denied over for Viper. Power pick so far. JJ still getting his Jarvan. This has been a bread and butter pick. He picked that all 5 games against Gen G, and it went quite well. It has given EDG a constant point or a form of engage to go in, lock down, find, knock up anyone that they want to pick. And well, I can't say it ever got them back into a game, because most of the games that at least whoever got the early lead won the game. It did mean that EDG always had plenty of agency to start the fighting, keep snowballing into Gen G's face, Gen G's team, just run amok. Viper gonna pick up his Jhin, which has looked, I've liked the pick better watching it from specifically Gumayushi, but also watching sort of the follow-up that Viper provides to the rest of his team that does have the skill and does have the damage available to actually capitalize on all the roots, slows, that can be put out by this champion. Ziggs gonna be picked up for Ghost in the bot lane, which is, this is gonna be one of the first times we've seen Ghost on the Ziggs here at the tournament. I imagine everyone was playing it plenty during the summer split, but this is going to allow Beryl to be freed up, and now it's going to be a question of, does EDG want to keep a high pressure situation on the bot lane with their support line to make sure Beryl's not allowed to roam and affect the rest of the map. Raya's going to be locked in for Scout. It's been his bread and butter pick and has been a very fine pick for him indeed. Mobility and high damage, always a nice combo to have. Now we're going to go into the second ban phase, and we're going to see what they're going to be worried about here, because top lane has not been secured for either, and only the jungler and supports have been selected for EDG and DK respectively. So we might be seeing some support bans coming up from DK. There's the jungle ban from EDG, just getting rid of the Talon, which has kind of disappeared throughout these playoffs. It's usually a much better pick in a more skirmishy style, something like the Zoe Jace Ziggs combo that we saw. Was, I believe that was yesterday, Ruler on the Aphelios, and just never allowed to really play the game. Very annoying situation to deal with. And now the cannon's going to be locked in, so limiting the top laners for Flandre. Graves is still up and available. I'm wondering if they're going to get rid of that, or if they're just going to lock that in when DK get their pick, because that would be pretty, like, Khan and Flandre I think have played the most Graves in this whole tournament. Kiana going to be taken away from Canyon. So just the two little unique skirmishy picks, and definitely a team wipe ultimate on the Kiana. So getting rid of that, and the Leona going to be taken away. So getting rid of that all-in potential. Rel has disappeared for a while, but I would love to see her come back. I think there'd be a very good possibility for them. And now EDG going to lock in at least the Graves over here for Flandre. What is Khan going to have for the counter? Because it's been pretty, like, the Graves has been a pretty stock and standard and stays pretty safe. So it's kind of, what are you okay with taking into that? We did see Rascal on the Renekton do very well on it in the second half of, I think it was like game 3, but definitely in game 5 he stood out a lot better on it and had a much better time early on in the lane, which allowed him to be a little bit closer to the bully that we normally see out of Renekton players. And here's going to be something interesting. That's going to be a Yasuo lockdown. I'm betting this is for Khan top side. He's got at least 1 assistance with the knockups, 2 assistants, yeah, actually. Ghost and Bear will help him be able to engage. Simple satchel toss or the battle dance knockup from Bear will be plenty. And there's the Zinjao for Canyon, so keeping that nice and super simple. I really like where this is going, because now we've got ourselves a major carry in the top lane in terms of what Canyon will be able to do. And there's the Rel getting floated from Mako. would appreciate seeing her back out on the Rift. Magnet Storm, a fantastic way to bring everyone together for a bunch of AoE damage from Scout, from Viper, and from Flandre. But no, we're going to be taking notes. EDG is going to be taking notes from T1. T1 piloting Keria on the Zillion was actually fantastic and just felt super powerful. I'm really happy that this champion's like risen in priority. This is reminding me why I've loved Worlds so much every year, is because we actually get to sit on a patch for an extended period of time and get to see the evolution of it. Like if you think about it, like over a month ago, it was like Diana, Talon. These were like super meta picks, very powerful. Ziggs was still expected to be a constant in the bot lane, and while he has come back, and a Mumu, that was the really cheese pick that we had early on, but it has gone away in favor of the Leona, and then we ended in this Enchanter world, and now we've actually ended in like the world of where Zillion is actually like a solid pick for teams. So I'm really excited to see what can be done here. He, like Keria in, I think it was like game 3 in T1 versus Damwon, just prevented Damwon from killing anyone. I'm pretty sure there was like 5 or 6 deads that were basically saved by Keria's Zillion. And while I trust that Damwon has learned their lesson and to not overreach into a Zillion team, they do have plenty of sort of AoE options to really make sure that the Zillion pick is minimized. But yeah, this is going to be super fun. I'm really excited to see how this goes here. And we're going to be getting started here in game 1 of the World's Finals, EDG versus Damwon Gaming Kia. And let's get onto the Rift here. So I think at the gate, I guess we want to think about what they want to actually prioritize here. Both of these teams may actually just want to have simple full clears. We have started to see a little bit more cheese, especially with easy level 2 ganking characters like the Jarvan. Xin Zhao can stick into that area as well when become lightning. He kind of needs all 3 abilities to be able to actually knock people up. Other casters finally joining the broadcast. And nothing too crazy, nothing too simple right now. Looks like Kane's going to back off, get himself traded out for... Yep, got the ward down there in the brush. So we are at least having 2 wards placed out by Damwon. And then get back out onto the field with your scanners. Now they know that 1 ward is right there. So they should be able to clear this one out and provide Kenny at least the opportunity to pick where he wants to start. Looks like JJ's already just going to start topside with his red buff. And where do these teams want to play towards? When do they play to? Because I think if you get Khan ahead, he's shown himself to just be having a massive revival in this tournament. Just with these carry picks, the Graves pick, I really think if they actually got him ahead on the Yasuo and provided him with just enough of an advantage to provide a constant kill threat onto Flandre, it would be pretty fantastic. A fed Yasuo, as we all know, can be super scary, especially when it's on the enemy team. But for right now, we're just going to actually get our time started. Bot lane, I think bot lane can kind of actually just get sacked altogether. There's no really big hyper carries down there. Good little knock up there from Ghost and Barrel. And the trades continue. But yeah, I really think it's going to be like mid jungle top focus in this first game here. Ghost is meant to actually sack this wave. Jhin would be perfectly happy doing that as well. So while Mako may not be able to have as much like hard impact as Barrel, Mako matching Barrel and being there to prevent any deaths, especially after level 6, will be pretty substantial. Mako get knocked in. A lot of good damage going out here. But it still looks like EDG is winning out on these trades so far. And plenty of pots on the side of Viper. He's gone boots 3 pots for the start, it would seem. And everyone, of course, with plenty of biscuits to keep them healthy through the laning phase. And topside now without a lot. And that's going to be cleared vision. But I'd like to think that EDG, if they've seen well, they haven't seen Canyon in a while, they might have been able to infer where he started. It looks like it's going to be a Gromp skip for JJ. He's going to get started on his crab, and Canyon will go topside for his crab as well. And we're just going to be on our way with full clears. So nothing too special to start out the match. 3:30 in. Everyone's got their level 3s, level 4s for the solo laners, and only minor CS leads really. Showmaker should be evened out by the time this wave crashes. Alright, let's see what else we've got going on.
Yeah, I love it. And you can see here displayed in the graphic how high of a dual proximity Mako has on the other side. Guess what? With Zillion, that's going to remain very, very high.
Yeah.
Experience there with the passive. And Barrels is going to be extremely low. We expect a back first purchase of boots so that he can use that Predator to go make that support jungle play early on.
And I really love that Mako is just showing his versatility, right? He basically designed engaged support play over in the LPL and has this Worlds demonstrated that he has a whole nother string to that bow, of course, and has been just playing
big captain, big plays there from the EDG support. And if depending on how this, and his high jungle proximity to Viper has a lot to do with just getting enchanters and keeping him super close to keep him shielded and healthy and safe. Meanwhile, though, if this, I really want to see how good his Zillion is, because that can be a very, very Zillion can warp the game. A good Zillion can warp the entire game, because that means that that GAs are actually active before the item even exists in anyone's item field. So if you can actually get this off, get his big AoE stuns, that's like the biggest AoE stun on a basic ability in the entire game, it can end up being a very abusive relationship, we'll say. Very powerful impact with a character such as Zillion that's going to be on low econ as a support, but with very high impact. JJ going to sneak his way in here, just waiting for the cooldowns to reignite. They know that, yep, everyone's kind of rotating on around. EDG will get the push, Scout will back off. Teleports have been spent across everyone but Ghost and Showmaker at this time. Now Canyon favoring topside. Khan still getting a good bit of trading here onto Flandre. They both are running precision tree. It's going to be fleet footwork for Flandre and Conqueror for Khan. Kind of wondering. Oh, he's actually. That's why the damage is so low. He's leveling up the speed and slow, his E. He's leveling that up first, which I remember this combination from T1, and I really, really liked it. I think EDG are trying to give Damwon a little bit of PTSD, but when this game gets later, it's going to be the best thing in the world to watch Viper get sped up by Mako, run in on his fourth shot, chunk, Ghost, Showmaker, Canyon, anyone in half, and then just, you know, speed away perfectly fine with the crit passive. Now, still a lot of gank options being lost. JJ's going to clear out that ward and leave. Mako still want to get in here and throw a little bit, and get the Starfruit knockdown. But Dragon could be up and available. 7 minutes into the game here. We're about a minute away from the 8 o'clock fight time for Herald. And now EDG going to make a proactive play in to take away this red buff. Canyon kind of being forced away since EDG had first move out of bot and also out of mid lane. So that jungle is currently not theirs. And now they're going to run the warmer up right on top of Barrel and Ghost. And that's going to be a fantastic almost call. And that's going to be a catch. And that's going to be a first blood. Barrel taken out here. What a cheeky play from Scout and company. They just teleport right on top of the face of Barrel and Ghost. And there is nothing really to be done here. Flash burned from Ghost. Barrel, unfortunately, not using his flash to save his own life. But that is a great start. And frankly, Scout getting first blood back in the Genji series was kind of a death sentence for Genji. And EDG know what to do. Both these teams very much know what to do with their leads. Now, what will be the counterplay here for Damwon in the next few minutes? Because right now, Herald's about to come up, has just spawned. And now what's going to be the main proactive? What's going to be the play here? JJ in the area. Canyon's getting it started. Flandre about to face check into Khan, and this is not going to be his most favorite exchange. Showmaker and Barrel have arrived. Ghost is going to be left bot side. He does have his teleport if it needs to turn into a full 5v5. But right now, EDG are taking a little bit too long to get out there. JJ's going to hop in. He's going to be able to see Herald's down to 2,600. They're going to try to turn on him. Root's going to come out, but it's going to miss. JJ goes down, and that's going to be probably the end of that exchange. Now EDG need to make their way out. Ghost on the other side. He's teleported his way up, and he's just going to provide all the zoning necessary. And that will be a decent counterplay there from Damwon Kia to move over, take the Herald. And now let's see if they can actually get this beast on the field and take away some turret plates.
Yeah, you could say that again. The coordination from EDG is not there on the top side play, trying to come punish the early start on Rift Herald, but they're so desynced. But it's, going right over the back of the wall.
I think they were totally desynced, and I also don't think they thought that Damwon Kia was going to move this fast towards it. Yeah, JJ goes in way too early. Mako's only level 5. The root doesn't really mean much, and it's just 4 knocked up. Great 4-man stun from Mako, but it's just like 5 seconds too late, frankly.
One knockup, instantly dead, full combo from Damwon. Well played by them to punish.
And this was something that we see from EDG during their semifinals as well, where a lot of their engage comes off the back of JJ. So if he's gone, there is no more follow-up. You are very reliant on him to start the fights for you and to be able to close the gap against this Damwon composition. So really good target focus there from Damwon, but the gold still in the favor for now, in favor of EDG.
Yeah, EDG simply have to be much more precise with their timings here. You can't leave anyone out to straggle there, and if you do, you have to respect the all-in. No flash blown or anything like that. We're in the world though now.
Yeah.
With this Rift Herald
So very good identifying pieces for at least what EDG are going to want to do. The thing to actually keep in mind that's actually really nice, kind of thinking about it and looking around for it, but Damwon Kia is very much a bursty comp. The knock up into the last breath from Khan, the burst patterns from Showmaker, Canyon more or less the same, Ghost definitely a burst mage for at least his long range poke. Meanwhile, EDG, Scout, and Flandre, kind of a much more consistent damage duo, will be able to actually chunk out quite well with just the EQ combos, but that ends up kind of being highly consistent sort of machine gun damage from the Rise, and the burst mage ends up just being the auto attacks from Viper, frankly. Scout gonna be able to get himself a turret plate here. JJ's in the wings, just playing guard. Gonna find this control ward. But yeah, this is gonna be a very interesting game here because right now it's only been a Cloud Drake spawn. First Drake has yet to be taken. We're about to hit the 11-minute mark, and that's usually where we see this getting threatened. At least historically, that was the marker I was keeping earlier on in the tournament. But everyone else has gone a little bit more topsy-turvy with focusing on the Herald at 8 minutes, and then the Drake sometimes feels like it happens like by 15 minutes or something like that.
Break that mid tower because sieging against Scout with his wave clear could be difficult with this composition from Damwon in the early game at least.
Close, but not quite a cigar there.
Yeah, mid lane tower would definitely be the ideal situation to get down early. It's just such a big objective when you do have the setup here that Damwon do with possibilities of Showmaker's LeBlanc, one of the most feared combinations that we have in the tournament.
Yep.
Getting fed early with the early kill.
Yeah, getting Showmaker's LeBlanc fed early would be a fantastic decision for Damwon Kia with their Herald, and they're starting to run out of time, so they're going to need to make a decision on this pretty soon. Putting it topside on Khan wouldn't be a bad idea. He has shown himself to be quite reliable as a main damage dealer in this tournament. And they're going to have to figure this out pretty soon. Waves pushed into Khan right now. I think mid lane's going to be where it's going to be here. Right now, Canyon walking up. Timer's about to run out on this, so they need to figure this out. Mako's in the wings with Scout. Could do a lot of work to prevent any sort of plays here, or at least try to stop the Herald from getting anything. JJ's going to arrive here. Ghost and Barrel also in the wings here. They know they really need to make this happen. Ghost's going to start putting out the poke. When it becomes light, it's going to come out and start a lot of zoning, and there's going to be the gold entirely onto Canyon. So not the most ideal target, but that will be a big jump for their jungler and make him quite a threat if he's to find himself on top of Scout or on top of Viper.
Damwon realized that there's not that much time left for us to get that much gold, but that mid lane tower still stays healthy. So with EDG holding this small gold lead, I think that they're still feeling pretty comfortable for the time being.
They also threatened moving Ziggs towards mid though.
And it's going to be a charm knock up here, and it's going to be a dead Scout, I believe, here. Flash is available, but he's going to get in double stunned. Auto text to finish it out. Beryl eating a couple of hits, but his Ignite will probably tick off to finish Scout. And that'll be a nice, good second blood there for Damwon Kia. One already on to Showmaker from earlier. I believe it was on to JJ, and now, yep, the JJ during the Herald fight, and now another kill onto Beryl. So, good little bit of denial of CS here. Scout should be able to teleport back in so he doesn't lose too much else. And nice little move here by Damwon Kia. Let's see if EDG are going to have any pushback for this. Damwon Kia don't get much else off of it. I think actually, yeah, so EDG are going to actually be able to grab this Dragon. And with plenty of time before the second Herald arrives. So, pretty good stuff there. One kill for Drake's pretty okay trade. So this is actually pretty straightforward and simple. Scout doesn't really flash this as early as he probably should have. He's kind of hanging out right in that area, and he should have been able to flash right there. He heads for the step back, but it just does not matter. And kill unfortunately confirmed by Beryl. Just an auto attack away, but I think they wanted to make sure that went down before he might have flashed and had just enough health to get out of there. So kind of feels like a little bit more of a misplay from Scout. Clean play from Beryl and Showmaker, but Scout could have like early flashed that.
Both of these teams. Typically, yeah, they'll throw a couple ganks out in the early game, but it is that transition from the early to mid where they leverage their early gold lead to strong team fighting. And it's the same for Damwon, where this is where you start to unlock them on the map. They'll really start to look for those.
And now, yep, now comes the skirmishing power of Damwon Kia. And also a lot of the zoning here from Ghost. Showmaker's going to go over and actually bring Mako super low. He might actually have to burn his ultimate on himself long before it even matters. And now it's going to be a bunch of body block, but Beryl's going to go down here. EDG ready for this fight, and they want it. They're going to push on in here. JJ's actually going to get the resurrection. Mako doing his job here. Big double stun there onto Khan and onto Canyon. Now it's time to move away. Flandre has arrived as well. Herald's going to be secured by Viper action. EDG are going to take this fight, and Showmaker and Ghost have to make for the hills. Zillion effect up and in play.
They get the extra kills, and they're going to retake control of this game now with second Herald. Yes, you don't get turret plate money, but you get a lot of control of choosing.
A lot of control, a lot of pressure. You could secure the second tower if you can actually get a full batch of moves on. So Mako surviving here right now might actually secure the entire situation. JJ jumps onto Ghost, forces his flash out. Beryl left inside here, doesn't really have much else to do. JJ finishes him off, and Ghost actually uses his ultimate on like a point blank for JJ to finish him off, and that just means that a lot of the damage is gone. And at this point, Damwon Kia are running away here. Canyon goes down. Herald gets secured by Viper, and that just ends up being a sack. The fight ends up being way too messy. Just not the kind of front to back that like DK want. They want to keep the range, allow for Ghost to get out even. He should have had more damage out than that if he'd have thrown his ultimate into the back line of EDG, but unfortunately he put his ultimate like at 2 feet in front of him to keep JJ away. And he's got to do it actually. Khan dodging back and forth here, and he's going to just E twice, puts out the wind wall, and there's not much else to really be done here. Second round available. They do have the Herald, so this will be a dead turret, but Khan survives. Should be able to catch this and prevent a second charge coming out from the Herald, and that's about as much as you can ask for on the side of DK. But EDG doing work here. That early game gold lead here on the Scout, doing work still.
Walk over to second Rift Herald, start the fight out with the Cataclysm, force it down, knowing that they have the Zillion to come back them up, and now pushing their winnings ahead on these objectives.
And gentlemen, coming into this series, we knew that early game would be important. And I just want to highlight some of these early game stats that we see from EDG, because in their wins, and this is at 15, they have a huge early game gold advantage. It was 15-30 where they got this gold advantage, but EDG looks best when they're able to...
15 minutes were they ahead?
It was 15-30. Well, that they got ahead, yes.
Oh, right. So they weren't ahead at 15 minutes.
They were not, actually. It's a contentious one for sure.
Very dangerous.
But the point is that you can see that when they get ahead, usually they're actually very good at closing things out. Their average game time is very short. In both wins and losses, this team does not like to waste time. So let's see if EDG can translate this into a big win against Damwon in the final.
Yeah, that'd be a great start actually for this entire thing because Damwon Kia are still sitting at the top of the table for at least favorites to take the entire tournament and defend their title. Be one of the very few of actually only 2 teams in the world in the history of League of Legends that have ever actually defended their title and gone 2 years in a row for the World Championship. The only other team to do that was SKT with Faker, and coincidentally, with Coma, the coach of EDG right now, which has been a fantastic storyline. And Coma wins this Worlds with this EDG roster, which is a fantastic roster. It puts him in contention it kind of confirms him as the greatest coach in the history of League of Legends. Like, no chance, no cap. JJ gets sped up here. They're trying to look for an engage. You're trying to scare off Damwon Kia, but now EDG kind of separating themselves here with this wall. Showmaker over the side here. Flange is going to find him. Showmaker trying to find a target. Still has his Mimic available. Could put out a lot of big damage here if he can get a jump over the wall. Drake's going to be started up here by Flandre and EDG. And now comes the dance. Showmaker looking for the place, but this dragon's down here now. Barrel. So you want to look for the engage here. Damwon Kia might want to find the fighter. They need to try to figure out where they're going to start turning this game around here. 3,000 gold lead for EDG, and it's going to be time to find something here. Scout's going to get rooted up here. Chain's going to actually run out, and now Showmaker's going to get jumped on here. He needs to distort away, but Barrel's gone in to try to help protect the situation. Scout's time to run for him. He's burning down to sub 100 health, but he will make it out. No one dies in the entire exchange here. Plenty of damage, but EDG walk away with the second Drake. And Ghost has already used his Super Mega Inferno Bomb. So no long range picks there. But DK should be able to actually get themselves this second turret. Satchel available. And that will be that. So turret score exchanged. Still just only like a 2,000 gold lead here for EDG right now. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too great. And if it's spread out just right, just across DK, it may actually mean nothing. Right now, though, to at least capitalize quite heavily on it. 2 entire items completed on that side of Flandre. Item and a half for Khan on this Yasuo. Debating whether or not Khan or Flandre got a lot of turret plates earlier that we didn't notice. Stopwatch available on Scout for the next major fight. Everfrost, Luden's Echoes. So not too many other disparities. A good bit of advantage for JJ for just an item in like 3/4 to the item and 1 Ruby Crystal for Canyon. 1.5 items basically for Viper. And 1.5 items for Ziggs. Tier stacked up entirely. And Ziggs kind of on this long bridge right now since he's got the Oblivion Orb and the tier. He's going to be waiting for a large amount of gold. So at some point it's going to be about 1,000 gold that will not even be effectively usable for Damwon Kia since Ghost has gone this build route. And we're still waiting for Mythic to be finished by Mako, but Shirelia's Reverie available on Barrel. So that's what you get for kill stealing as Rakan. And now we enter the post 20 minute stage here. Baron's going to be probably the major focus when Dragons aren't a minute away. And we kind of got to see yesterday, at least with how Gen.G and EDG played it out, there's a lot of sort of waiting for major objectives to come around. Not a lot of sort of creative map states or fights being made in certain timings that allowed for at least finding advantages, morphing the map, putting people in compromising positions. I'm kind of wishing for G2 days to come back, to be honest, but we will be pretty happy with this. Showmaker should be pretty fine here. 3 has arrived. Scout's going to be able to get the root onto him, actually. And double distortion used by Showmaker to get out. And now EDG with... No, not going to go for pressure onto the tower. Canyon and Ghost and Barrel, we're looking to flank on them, but that will not happen. So no overextensions there. Plenty of good vision through the river to spot that out and keep everyone safe.
Phenomenal 5v5 style of composition, but Damwon, they want to split you up around their map. They want to play those shadow games. And like you were talking about, you need vision control if you're going to do that.
You certainly do, and I think that right now, when we kind of have a quick look at the map, you can see that there's a lot of control in favor of Damwon when it comes to the river. They have good access into the top side. They have a couple wards littered around the bot side as well, and ultimately, Damwon's investment is they're using mid very well. When we talk about that mid tower going down, initially it doesn't look like that much of an advantage, but you can see how Damwon converted into a lot of vision control, and the moment that you control the river, it means that you have access to move towards these side lanes, and they just use that to be able to protect their top lane tier 1.
Another tactic Damwon can utilize because they're enabled by this Ziggs plus 2 possible split pushers here with high amounts of burst damage is if you just put Ghost and Barrow mid lane as we see the chase through the river. You keep them mid lane, they have insane wave clear, and they're extremely safe, and you try and force the Zillion to show mid. Then you can force a play out of Fog of War on either the Yasuo or the LeBlanc's lane, and have Ghost just travel halfway and throw the ultimate. That amount of extra damage and the burst damage can come through to get you that actual kill for your split pusher, while still knowing that the Zillion is kind of forced mid to keep the Jhin safe, and you try and utilize your extra couple steps there in the long range to get those surprise kills. So that kind of builds off your spreading the map point.
Showmaker diving forward, looking for JJ, but he's so fast. Mako is really enabling.
Mako's gonna be able to enable a lot of ridiculous plays with that speed up. I don't even think he's put any more than the first proc into his Q. But right now, here comes the pokey style from Damwon Kia. They need to clear out this mid wave so they can actually contest in the river. Good news is that they've actually got the crab vision right there. But EDG ready and pretty much comfortable playing this 5v5. This just grouped up situation, while DK, they kind of want to find themselves several different angles to attack from, honestly. The decent core of like, oh, decent chain over there. It's going to catch on the Scout. Scout's going to be brought low, but that's going to be a nice move in. Scout's actually going to get the res on him. Everyone locked up into the O. Scout's going to be caught one more time. He's going to flash away. And Ghost being brought really low as well. He's already put out his entire ultimate. Scout's going to try to back off and I think teleport back into this. And so is, well, Ghost is going to try to leave right now. He does not have a teleport. This is going to actually put the entire situation in jeopardy. Showmaker looking for a flank. They do know he's there. There is a ward in that brush. And now the teleport back in from Scout. And DK, I don't think they've got a chance here. Scout's going to try to steal it, and it will be secured by JJ. So now Damwon Kia, I think they are going to move themselves over to Baron right now. And I think with Khan, this can actually be a very doable task. Here's the teleport in from Showmaker. Ghost will be arriving soon enough. Here comes the teleport as well from Flandre. And now EDG are going to be forced to go face check into this Baron. It's going down pretty slowly. There's not a lot of good damage, but here comes the advantage of the Showmaker on the back line to just keep prodding and poking and keeping the threat while Ghost plays the game of zoning them. Beryl as well here on the side, trying to at least see if they can find a really good engage. But Flandre is there to check them himself. And now there's 3 men on the side of Damwon Kia that need to try to run away here. But the speed from Mako might actually just make this really super hard. And that'll be a jump teleport in. Khan found out, and he's going to be blown up here. Scout still with the chimes on him to keep him alive. And Flandre is going to ruin Ghost's day. 3 still alive left on EDG, but I don't think it's going to be for much longer. That's going to be the turn around. Damwon Kia is going to run that over. So kills exchanged on either side. And it's just 3 left on the side of EDG, and they will make their way on out. So no Baron taken, kind of a forced situation from Damwon Kia. Kind of doesn't really work out in their favor, ends up being kind of a neutral situation. No one's really getting any advantages across from that, but kind of a coin toss play there from Damwon Kia, trying to rely on their zoning. So that is really breakout. Flandre gets the push back onto Beryl and company, but now these 3 need to run away here. And Scout's just like, you know what, let's just do the teleport play again. He takes... Viper actually steps out of this wisely enough, and now they're actually in a very crazy situation. Ult is put onto Scout. Mako goes down for it. And that's sort of the end of that here. Damwon Kia kind of finishing it up here. Showmaker makes the leave, but Viper and JJ in major trouble here, and they will go down for this. So really kind of a back and forth exchange there. Ghost doing a lot of good damage there. A lot of good damage with the Ziggs. If Damwon Kia can get 2 points, get to major objectives first, get to the Baron, get to the Drakes first, it kind of allows Ghost and Showmaker to do what they're intended to do. Because the simplest thing to understand is that like the moment Ghost can actually just throw a satchel onto a prime target is when Khan can go in and blow them up. Especially with like Ghost just throwing bombs on top of it. There's something of a sort of Karthus long-range engage option on Damwon Kia's side of the map. They just need to actually like nail it. And if they have Baron like tenderizing them on one side and EDG pressing on the other side with a super fast JJ to fly in and pick whoever he wants, it's going to be a very dangerous prospect. Now Damwon Kia setting up once again around the Baron, trying to at least keep absolute control of this area. It's going to be that 1 control ward still up in the top side of the river. But now, yep, EDG with still control of this game here. 2,000 gold leads still in their favor. These gold leads don't expand very heavily once we got into the semifinals. It's been they've been able to stay pretty close, pretty tight. No one getting too overzealous. No one giving away too much gold. So Damonki are still in this. They just have the unfortunate situation of being behind and EDG kind of with a lot of the control right now. Just gotta start pushing into the river just to contest and bring back this vision. Wave states are pretty neutralized right now, just hanging out mid and top and bot, at least mid side of it. Flander's gonna go ahead and push this one back. Now EDG back out on the field. Resets down. Damonkia a little bit slower to the play. A minute left till the Ocean Drake arrives, and that's, oh boy, it's gonna be a catch out here. It's gonna be a full engage onto Flandre. He's actually gonna get major damage out onto Khan. He's gonna be able to actually run away, and the bomb will not land. Flandre does have teleport in a few minutes. Khan already has his available, so he will be able to join the fight a little more quickly than Flandre. Flandre should be able to have it just in time for the barrel fight. And here comes the speed up and run around from Viper and Mako. This is the super combo with the Gumayushi that we saw in I believe it was game 4 with T1 versus Damwon Kia. And now they're trying to catch on to JJ, looking for that step back. But Damwon Kia trying to threaten the Baron over trying to deny the Ocean Soul, which would be really the antithesis of their entire comp here. They have a fantastic post situation, but if there's an Ocean Soul in EDG's favor, it's going to, oh boy, this is going to be so weird right now. Flandre has walked his way back off. He's coming through mid lane right now. The Baron is at half health. Damwon Kia with plenty of zoning with this Ziggs. We got to find at least one avenue in. JJ's gone half. They're going to jump in on the Showmaker, and he's going to go down here. JJ in the middle of it. He's gone golden. Viper's going to open up with the curtain call, but now here comes the damage. Here comes the ridiculousness. Baron doing his job as well. EDG is going to take out Flandre is going to take out Canyon, and now DK need to start running. This first game is now working out in their favor, and now it's just Ghost left. Double kill over to Flandre. He is running through this, and now it's just down to Ghost. He's going to get found out. Ace secured for EDG, and it does not appear anyone died on the side of EDG. JJ is going to be able to smite to keep himself alive, and this will be Baron for EDG. And Flandre is going to use his teleport, not to get to the fight. That fight's already dead and gone. He's going to also secure Soul. So EDG in prime position here, taking game 1 from Damwon Kia, and not much time left. What will there be for Damwon Kia to pull this back? Because this comp is kind of run out of gas. They cannot poke out EDG well enough, and Mako provides just an easy enough res for JD to overcommit in or to make sure that one of his carries stays alive. And frankly, if Viper can stay far away and no one can follow up on even Ghost bombing him, it's perfectly fine. And now there's the super speed in and the catch on to Showmaker, the route into the knock up, into the Cataclysm. JJ just got to get to sit here, and he's got the chimes on him from the Zillion, and they never even really matter or get used. He ends up becoming an anti-target, and Scott's allowed to just walk through, catch up's Khan. He's not allowed to do anything. Yep, so Khan doesn't get, and his ultimate had already been used on the attempted catch out onto Khan earlier, or Flandre earlier, before we even got to the Baron. So now EDG, here comes the major threat here. Speed up onto Viper with that 4th shot available, and it will be free poke, and frankly, probably even better poke than what Showmaker can do on a LeBlanc. Bot lane prepped by Flandre, and now EDG will be able to move down, clear out the jungle, and start securing this tower as well. Khan's going to try to do a counterplay. No teleport for him, so it's going to be a... They're hoping that at least, like, I guess Ghost can, like, secure this, but EDG is unconcerned. They're going to be able to walk through all of this. Khan, I don't think you're going to be able to outpace EDG right now. Scott's pulling out mid. Ghost doing his level best to try to clear all these waves, but it's going to be pretty rough and pretty hard to do. He's backing off finally. 2 inhibs for a single turret, really. Showmaker might actually have overextended himself a bit. Jade, and he will survive. He's gonna have to distort away, and here's gonna be the realm ward into the top side of the map. I love these little rotations that Scott is using this realm ward for. It always feels like it's really underutilized. I feel like Bjergsen over in NA was one of the few times we got to see the realm warp from Rise being used like in such a just move here, just get into the next objective. It's really awesome to see. 50 seconds left on this Baron. EDG gonna back off, even though they're still pretty healthy. They've gotten 2 inhibs down. 3 inhibs would be a good send-off. But they're going to go back, spend their gold, 4K. So here's the big ballooning that we've been waiting for, and it's finally occurred with this Baron buff. It's going to be a 4K Red Bull Baron power play, and that's going to be Ocean Soul. They've got themselves an 9,000 gold lead, 8 turrets to 4. EDG running away now with this game 1. And setting us up for a very interesting start to this series here. Damwon Kia not taking the first game. Damwon Kia being put on the back foot out the gate. We know they're up for the fight. We know they're up for the challenge. But now it's going to... I'm very sort of curious like what we're going to see going into the Game 2 draft. And this is going to be EDG's achievement so far. LPL titles 6. Only 1 international title at the inauguration of the MSI. That's where they took down SKT with the Cassidon LeBlanc bait. I think it was the Morgana or Cassidon bait. But yeah, they baited out Faker, took that title, if I'm recalling correctly. But 7 international experiences, EDG's kind of underperformed for definitely their fans' expectations. And frankly, them making it all the way to finals for, I think, the first time in the organization's history is going to be very good news for them. JJ getting a huge chunk out from Khan. The reality, though, is that this Ocean Drake is going to make him plenty healthy in no time. Showmaker's going to have to get a lot more done than that. And now trying to prime themselves. No Baron available, but they have plenty of gold. Should not be the biggest challenge for them. And if you'll notice, JJ's already back up to 3/4 of his health. So that poke not sticking too hard or too well. Poking at Flandre is kind of like a lost cause. He's got his shield bow and his fleet footwork. However, rotating in and out. Scout and JJ trying to zone the situation. That's going to be a jump in right onto Canyon. And he's going to have to put up his Crescent Guard to try to survive the rest of this. Flandre's going to get into point blank range just to blow him up here. Barrel goes in, but is not able to find anything. And now Flandre's going to help push them all away. And Flandre just 1v4ing this right now. 4th shot from the current call comes through, but now the inhib turrets are going... The Nexus turrets are going to be focused on Showmaker gets blown up here. Root for Ghost. And that's going to be a good last breath there from Khan, but he's not going to be able to get anything else done. He's going to go Golden Canyon as well. They are both going to go down, and this will be a great ending for the first game. EDG coming out firing on all cylinders, getting that first blood onto Scout, and that's going to be the start for our grand finals.
They got exactly what they wanted. They got